Bruce Banner, a brilliant scientist burdened by an uncontrollable inner monster, has always struggled with the duality of his existence. Although his alter ego, the Hulk, is a terrifying force, Banner has always strived to use his powers for good. He has fought alongside the Avengers, attempting to control his rage and protect the world from greater threats. Despite his best efforts, however, the world still sees him as a monster, judging him based on the destructive power of the Hulk rather than his true intentions. In this episode, his attempt to cure himself of the Hulk's influence inadvertently created an even greater menace, leading to the fall of the Avengers and forcing the remaining heroes to clean up the mess he had made. Ultimately, Bruce Banner became the very villain he had always been feared to be. The perception of Banner as a villain is not limited to external forces. The fear and anger directed at the Hulk by society have led Banner to internalize this judgment.
Therapy.
It's a fear. The fear I see in everyone else's eyes.
Sam Wilson sought to help the brilliant doctor with a field of science far different.
I'm just as scared of myself as they are of me.
Bruce himself believes that he is a monster. Because of this, he tries to either cure himself or find some way to live with the fact that he is the Hulk. While Banner seeks redemption and a cure for his condition, he is ultimately burdened by the fear that he will always be seen as a threat, even when he strives to be a hero. In this episode of Marvel's What If, we see that Bruce makes an effort to rid himself of the Hulk once and for all by trying to cure himself. His goal is to neutralize the destructive force within him and prevent the Hulk from ever wreaking havoc again. Which is already a problem, as Bruce Banner is supposed to be the smartest individual when it comes to gamma radiation. Why would he not have tried it before if it could cure him? It is simple. It wouldn't work. This is just a last-ditch effort to cure himself. However, in his attempt to rid himself of the Hulk, Banner inadvertently creates an even greater monster, the Apex.
Within, Bruce Banner created a whole new monster. As a number as this Apex and his legions rampaged across the globe. His mightiest heroes fought and fell.
This new creature, a monstrous kaiju capable of creating an army of gamma-powered monsters, becomes an unstoppable force of destruction. In his desire to eradicate the Hulk, Banner ends up unleashing a far worse nightmare upon the world. The Apex's rise leads to the death of the Avengers, the very group that Bruce once fought alongside in an effort to save the world. The surviving heroes, including Sam Wilson, Monica Rambeau, and Bucky Barnes, must now fight against the army of monsters that Banner's actions have unleashed. Rather than helping, Bruce Banner fled to a remote island, abandoning the world and the heroes he once fought with to face the consequences of his creation alone. In his desire to escape the guilt and shame of his actions, Banner hides himself away from the world he has hurt. Absolutely disgusting behavior from someone who caused all of this. Rather than owning up to his mistakes and helping take down this threat, he runs away.
You really think Banner's a better bet?
I mean, this all started with him. Maybe he can finish it.
There was a time when he was your friend, Sam.
And look how that turned out. For everybody.
I saw in some cartoon he lives in a lair in the center of an active volcano.
Who are you expecting, Sam? A monster?
Cowardice runs deep in this man's veins. Banner's transformation from hero to villain is a tragic turn of events, one that reflects the consequences of his unchecked ambitions. His desire to rid himself of the Hulk, to prove that he could control the monster within, ultimately led him down a dark path. In his attempts to be free from his burden, he unknowingly created a force far worse than what he had hoped to escape. The world that once feared the Hulk now has even more reason to fear the man who created the Hulk. Banner's actions reveal that his struggle was not just against the Hulk, but against himself and the overwhelming guilt of being seen as a villain despite his best efforts to be a hero. Bruce Banner was living a peaceful life in a remote island years without a Hulk incident, while the rest of the world was still suffering the consequences of his actions. He is not a villain for making a mistake, even if it was a pretty serious mistake. He is a villain for not even helping the true heroes fight the threat he created. Near the end of the episode, he comes back and supposedly it's all good. He saved us. That is not how it works. You do not come back years later, save everyone, and suddenly become a good guy. This man is a villain. Never forget, one of the worser versions of Bruce Banner out there. This is just a sad, sad episode. Bruce Banner was sleeping very comfortably on that island.